did know that it was pure water as compared to before, as compared to the other. So 0 is the freezing point of pure water as Celsius developed it. And, hey, it's a good way of doing things. A little bit better than the hand does, not much better, but a little bit more. So sell this off, and I have a little bit better defense with this. Sell that off. Let's see, anything more to buy? Nah, not for him. I have to have don't think of that. So, Celsius did much better, and he chose 100 to be the boiling point of water, and that's where we, get that from. And that, hey, it makes a bit of sense. 0 at freezing, 100 at boiling, that's in Celsius, and he did a better job. And, these weren't the only people also affiliated with, chemistry. But you are going to find out that the concept of an eponym is very, very common in chemistry. There are tons of people. Newton, I've already mentioned, Celsius, Fahrenheit, and these were real people. And as a matter of fact, the other temperature we learned, which is in the metric system for individual, is Kelvin. That is basically a guy, Lord Kelvin, for whom we also do we have Kelvin's principle. And for him, he based his degrees kind of on the Celsius system, except in his idea, 0 was actually absolute 0. You can't get any colder, so in Celsius and centigrade you can have negatives, and centigrade, which is just another way of saying Celsius. I'm not sure if there's any differences. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I tend to kind of flip-flop between the two of them. Degrees centigrade versus degrees Celsius. And Kelvin, established this 0 as you can't get any colder, so there are no negatives. So in Kelvin, 0 is absolute 0, and then what happens is the freezing point of water becomes 273 degrees. And actually, when you're writing it down, you don't normally write degrees Kelvin, but people say it out loud. So, that's, what eventually happened. And degrees Kelvin, which that's really the metric unit that's used, in particular because that's used when calculating energy, I believe, which is commonly known in joules. And joule was person, too, just like Kelvin was. And that's, you're going to find tons of that. Like I said, more and more eponyms, which is, based it off of the person's name. Oh, and here's something interesting about eponyms. It doesn't have to be a real person. It could be a fake person that was just invented for the purpose of that. Often they talk like this, I do, but out of words order I am to make things interesting and do impression Yoda of, I will. And yes, out of order words talk can I, sometime for, but make your head hurt it will, even though humorous it may be. And I've heard that referred to as Yoda-esque speak. An impression of Yoda it is, which true that is, because true I am impression of Yoda doing. Yeah, again, about my impressions, just like silly voices I do. Hopefully a chuckle out of this you get. So, yeah, that's Yoda-esque, and that is an eponym in reference to Yoda. Well, Yoda's not a real person. Yoda's a character, if you know from Star Wars. There's an actor that plays him, Frank Oz. I've had the pleasure of actually meeting him at one point many years ago. He's a very nice individual, and he's a voice actor for many different characters. The Muppets, most importantly, he was the original voice of Miss Piggy. Someone else who does it now, but he was who originally did it. So, interesting that is. You get that all over the place in the sciences and all over the place. So, a lot of times you want to remember something, you might want to look up a person who's affiliated with it. And there's tons of them. I mean, tons. Not just Isaac Newton, but Aufbau. The Aufbau principle. That was a person. I had a teacher who actually met him at one point. Met Aufbau. I mean, his name kind of works too because it was building up, but he was an actual person. I get into the Aufbau principle later, but that's and sometimes it's a surprise. People have been gotten so used to using a term to reference something that they don't know that there was an actual person with that name. That was referenced there, and whatnot. Right, temperature. And those are just a few of those metric units, and I'll get into more later, but that gives you the basic idea, because, well, no, I haven't really gotten into all of them, but when you measure distance, you're just thinking of a straight line. But you don't have to be. You could be thinking of a square, which is area. You have a distance, in one direction, times distance in another direction. When you multiply them together, that indicates the area of a two-dimensional plane. And that plane's called a square, and that kind of makes sense because you think about a distance, meters, times a distance, meters, and that's called meters squared. So even the verb squared that we use has to do with that, and comes from it. The item I want to rest here. It's a pretty good grinding here, gains and levels, and unfortunately, I haven't earned up that much Meseta because I haven't earned enough for armor. Still haven't found the cyborg, but hopefully people are not just watching this and enjoying me play. If they are enjoying me play, they might enjoy me playing World of Warcraft, which I will be doing later. The heck is that forest? I'm just sort of exploring and just learning things. Anywho, maybe I ought to talk to people and learn more about stuff going on. But, yeah, that's not the right button. That's the right button. I wonder if that... No, because it's, I'm thinking to myself that the forest doesn't appear until you've actually talked to the people. That talk about the cyborg and the boat. But, no, it can't be it. I don't know, I'll find out in a moment. So anyway, talking about metric system, and different eponyms. Oh, and sometimes an eponym is place. Like the Champagne Valley of France. Guess what was invented there? Or developed there? Sparkling white wine that we call champagne. The right button again. Jeez. Gotta learn the right buttons. So yeah, sparkling white wine. A particular type was developed there. Oh, and wine is definitely chemistry. If you ever make wine or beer, that's definitely chemistry. And sometimes it's both the people and the place. There was a famous family who owned a lot of land in Kentucky, in the United States, so much that in fact the whole county got named after them. You might know it. They're the Bourbon family, and real quick guess what bourbon, and real quick guess what they invented. Duh. So it's both. A people and a place, because the place got named after the people. Sometimes, by the lake at the northeastern falls. Oh, so that isn't the lake. Okay. Alright. So that is it. So it does have to do with somewhere over in the area I was looking at. Still, I've built up the character. And sometimes if it is specifically a place that it's referencing, it's referred to as a geonym, which makes sense because it's the Greek prefix of geos, which is place. Geo plus nem, named place, or affiliated with the name of the place that it's affiliated with. And there's plenty of those too, both real and imagined. And that's the way things work. Eponyms and genonyms. Oh, also another thing that comes up a lot in chemistry is acronyms. You may have heard that, where all the letters in a particular word actually refer to other words in a phrase that you might say. Good example is scuba, SCUBA. What that is in English is self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Oddly enough, you use lasers in chemistry quite a lot for different things, and the term laser is an acronym, LASER. It stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Yeah, people don't know that. There's lots of words like that. NASCAR, people don't know that one. National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing. And it's interesting because I keep thinking to myself, as I think of those, is that gosh, should have lost my track of thought there. Pardon, I've been at this for like an hour, and it gets rough. And if this is long, I'm probably going to chop it into little bits, 15-minute segments. So if you want to listen to that, and I might even go back over it and talk about what I was discussing in those 15 minutes, just in case you want to go over a particular topic. As a matter of fact, as I get close to the hour here, I may specifically go into the prefixes for the units in the metric system. That's sort of a good place to go to. I've gotten stronger than I'll last these guys. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things I've heard about said in the Dragon Warrior game is, to build experience, you must fight many, many monsters. And that's true, and that's what makes your character stronger. Well, the same thing goes on with your brain, too. The more you study, the more you listen to this, the more you talk about it, the more okay, there it is. I did have to talk to them to get her to appear. So, me just coming over here because I knew where it was doesn't work. No, I'm not one of Laia's people, Prince. I am a combat son with designation Miyu type. I have been waiting for 1,000 years for you. Only a descendant of Arachio can command me. Miyu joins your party. Now, what is she equipped with? Let's see. Just a ribbon and claw and vest. We'll see. Have to see what I can purchase for it. I've got the cyborg. So yeah, apparently you do have to talk to people to her, so otherwise she's not there. Good attack though, yep. Stab that, yep, there we go. So pardon me for not, getting that in the first hour. But hey, I'm not speedrunning, and I say that to people. This is to, talk about, sciencey stuff, so that I can. Okay. So anyway, coming up on the hour, so, the metric units. Well, again, you have to deal with very large as well as very small units in the metric system. So you do that by talking about these factors of 10. As we get into these large factors of 10, rather than talking about 1,000 meters, or 10 to the third power meters, because that's what 1,000 is, 10 times 10 times 10. This is, 10 to the first power right here.